Take it down, that's a penalty, isn't it? It's a foul the other way. Fowler and the fit again, Rorder on the bench. Even Chloe Kelly can't get a start. There are home league debuts aplenty here. For Lazelle, who comes into defence, that's the one change with no Wahabi. Yamashita behind her in goal is new. So too Ioba Fujino further forward, as well as the incomparable Viviane Miedemar. At the club, if not from last Saturday. In fact, this starting 11 is exactly as it was for that drubbing of Everton, when debutant Kiko Seike became the first player to score a hat-trick on WSL debut. Coach Dario Vidicic is new too, as are the WL stars Frank Kirby and Nikita Paris. The latter is only a substitute. Yeah. Remains to be seen whether Brighton will go with the same shape as last week. Looks pretty similar from kick-off here, but a very different kind of test. They were probably expected to, or at least joint favourites for that game with Everton, if not favourites, but obviously here a slightly different feel about it. Esparre, and now one of the new arrivals, Fujino and Hasegawa. Yamashita in goal. There's a Japanese influence now. This Manchester City squad, indeed in the league. Kiara Keating played every single game in goal for City in the WSL last term. And did play against Paris in that second leg midweek, but Yamashita seems to have the coach's faith for now. Bunny Shaw. I think they've got Jess Park and Viviane Miedemar in support of the new Fujino, and thanks to that aggregate win over Paris, they are back in the Champions League. Always sticky when you have to play off, and they've come unstuck in that regard in recent seasons of Manchester City, but not this time. Pattinson forward from left wing back with the Brighton cross. Manchester City drawn in a group with St. Pölten of Austria, Hammarby, the Swedish club, and the mighty Barcelona. Going into the final minute, lost 2-1 and ended up losing the title on goal difference a couple of weeks later. Genuine heartbreak in football terms. Here's Jess Park, who had such a fine second half of the campaign. Fujino was straight to start on debut at Arsenal, coming from Tokyo in the summer, and here she is again. Started every single league game in the centre of midfield. Yui Hasegawa been brilliant since arriving from West Ham a couple of summers ago. There's another newcomer, Naomi Lazelle. Not really a pass on there for Fujino. There was, by the time Jess Park had caught up. Alexandria under pressure from Bremer. Yamashita. Quite a lot of change in the goalkeeping department as well for Manchester City, with Ellie Roebuck gone. Sandy McIver still injured. Kiara Keating against Arsenal. Manchester City have scored 5 and 2 and 3 so far. They've averaged more than 3 goals a game since November. And that shock shutout here to Brighton. The only time they were shut out, in fact, incredibly. In the WSL, there was a cup blank, a League Cup blank in the semi-final against Chelsea. 6 times they scored 4, couple of 5s and a 7. It's no surprise, really, they've got that many weapons. Here's one of the chief weapons, Lauren Hemp, who will often flip sides early in games. Was doing it with Chloe Kelly for a while, flipping sides with Mary Fowler for a while, and now it's Fagino, who's just got back to get that foot in there. Great take from Park, all fizzed into her by Laia Alexandri. And Jess Park will keep on running, and she's onside. How's the cross? Oh, it's good. It's dangerous. Hemp on target, but comfortable for Sophie Baggerly. Fed up of being a backup keeper at Manchester United. Joined Brighton this time last year, Sophie Baggerly. Had a really good season. Here's Poppy Pattinson. Looking for Seike, nearly finding her. Fran Kirby picks up the bits, and look at the yellow shirts that are forward here. Kirby, Pattinson. Suddenly it's congested through the middle. These clubs both got an away win against one another last season. Shaw's there to pinch it, and suddenly it's 3 on 4. Hemp behind Miedemar. Or rather just a little in front of her, actually. How about that for a spin? Confident play from Patterson. You're not seeing it lumped long here. There's a lot of very neat and tidy football. In the middle at the back for Brighton is Gudo Bergsvand here. It's been a good signing. Torres Dottir, former champion in her time with Chelsea. Carabelli. Again there's an option to go long. Confident enough in her teammates that that threaded pass to Kirby was the way to go, and so it proved. Ton of departures for Brighton to go with the ton of arrivals. As I mentioned earlier, pretty similar across the back to last season, but in front of that, so different. Pinto went to Atletico. Katie Rock, caution. They're trying to fluster the likes of Carabelli to make a mistake. In the end, it's worked. Miedemar. Terrifying thing about Viv Miedemar is it's not just the goals, even though the numbers in that regard are as good as they get. Makes just as many. Deeper role latterly with Arsenal, and a deeper role here. Not to say she couldn't go and play up front, of course she could. Bunny Shaw with her in support and Hemp outside them. Terrifying, I'd imagine, for most defences. There is Hemp, lovely balance. Shaw, Hemp again, so tight, but she still picked the pass out. Bunny Shaw. Never needs a second invitation to shoot. Last season's Golden Boot winner in the WSL. That move had the excellence of Lauren Kilda Brown, Mary Fowler, Laura Coombs, and under all that, vast majority of them would start the vast majority of games for the vast majority of clubs. City squad is strong, seriously strong. Seke getting no joy there. Hemp, who's starting to become the principal protagonist in this game. Kasparai outsider. Hemp goes early with the cross. Shaw again. Didn't quite get enough on it, but that's two chances. And now creating things. Just a glancing blow from it would have given Sophie Bagley more problems. Bonnie Shaw took herself to 50 WSL goals at West Ham 5-0. She did it in 57 league games. You'd think that's incomparable. But Vivianne Miedemar did it in 50. Of course she did. Here's Pattinson. Seeing a lot of Poppy Pattinson up on this left flank. Another sign that Brighton are here to play. They did score for a large part of last season at a decent rate, Brighton. They just dried up at the end of the season, and it was their home form that was shocking. And slight surprise that Melissa Phillips departed when she did. She'd only taken over in what had been a torrid season before, towards the end there, and came in for the last few weeks of that one. Didn't quite complete the coach of the 22-23 campaign. The problems Brighton did have last term was conceding too many. It's not a problem you want to have when you're facing Manchester City. Would you believe, last season? And one of them was here. It's even more bizarre. Bremer away from Hasegawa. Can she find a teammate? Fran Kirby had turned up waiting for it and would have had a relatively empty net. A little more flesh on those Brighton defensive issues. Been going on a while. The season before they conceded 63 times, which was 6 more than the next worst, relegated Reading. There might be a thought that they'll score more than enough for it not to matter this turn. Koulibaly with the ball in, that's a handball. Nicely played by Fujino and Park. The return ball. Did seem like progress for a decent while, but they really did dip at the end of the campaign. As I mentioned, scoring not the issue. They were the only team to win here till Arsenal did it at the end of the season. And they led against a lot of the other big names before blowing those leads. Hemp trying to find Shaw again. It's actually dropped quite tidily for Vivianne Miedemar there. Till Todisdottir hammers it clear. There's a time and a place for playing. Nicely worked. Shaw knew she wanted to work it to get the shot away. There probably wasn't the room or the time for it. Couldn't quite make it stick that time either. Well, I would guess Sophie Bagley would have arrived here today thinking she'd have been busier than this. Been lots of neat and tidy build-up from Manchester City, but as of yet, I hesitate to even finish that sentence with the likes of Shaw around, but as of yet, Not too much to do, maybe now. Over for Gino again. Miedemar lurking. Frank Kirby knows where the danger is. Park. Hasegawa just getting the better of Frank Kirby, and here's Lauren Hemp again, back in her more usual left-sided role. Lovely taken turn from Miedemar. Well, it's on target and it's comfortable for Bagali. She's on 81 WSL goals. It's not topped by a lot. She's only 7 ahead of Bethany England. Pattinson into Frank Kirby. Brighton looking for a threat. Now we've seen the long ranger at that end too. Clean enough strike. Pretty comfortable. Was in goal for 3 Japan's in one of the all-time WSL shocks when they went away to Chelsea and won. Thanks to that goal. It was a very windy day, in fairness. Park trying to get round Pattinson. And Poppy Pattinson is suggesting, what do you want me to do? Do I have to get out the way? Carded for it too. Either for the challenge, maybe it's a build-up, maybe it was the back chat. Not sure. La Alexandri looked comfortable but then gave it away, and she's so grateful that Hasegawa, as she so often does, drops in to fill in, and that made all the difference because La Alexandri had gone, but it hasn't dampened her confidence. Look at that attempted give and go. Karabali forced home by Bunny Shaw. Pattinson away from Lazelle. Brunner back to Pattinson. Thought about the early ball into Bremer. Lovely use of the shoulder drop from Hasegawa. Not quite. Hemp with that familiar manoeuvre. There got a 20-minute debut as a sub against her former club Everton on the opening weekend. 83 WSL goals. Now with her 5th WSL club. Going to be an X-factor most places, including here. Miedemar, lovely ball in towards Hemp. Shaw. Safety first from Kiko Seike. I'll take the blame for this one being goalless, having suggested there was no chance of a 0-0. Still the best part of an hour to go, though. Lazelle into Miedemar. Early pass was a sharp one to Lauren Hemp, who's got Torres Dottir one-on-one before rather turning into the traffic. Miedemar has Kasparai with her, and still Miedemar, superb, just ran out of room. Spinning away from Seike. This little shimmy was a neat one. Bye-bye Torres Dottir, but fractionally heavy on them. Park for Shaw, lovely touch, still going, and Park! Best chance of the game, and there were two of them. Brighton's defence just got pulled out of position. Bunny Shaw, not the kind to let Lauren Hemp have that, even if in theory that might have been a better route to goal. Jess Park couldn't keep it down. If she had, it's surely 1-0. Happy at the end of that. Pattinson. Somehow Bramer's got the better of Greenwood, whose touch was in there first. Bramer still. Brunner take it down, that's a penalty, isn't it? It's a foul the other way, apparently. Seike's not arguing. Risky challenge from Lara Alexandri. Alex Green was a little unlucky there, because she did win the ball. There's Lara Alexandri again. Two teams trying to play pretty slick football. This first half has skipped along. Suddenly, we've only got 2 minutes of it left. Standout double opportunity coming within a few seconds. A moment ago at the other end. Meanwhile, Brighton looking to take the lead as Bramer into Kirby. Who's a better finisher than that. Seike. And it's out by Miedemar. Chances at both ends now. You'd have fancied Fran Kirby to make Yamashita work harder than that. Brighton's best chance, falling to one of this league's all-time greats. She'd love to have that chance again, Kirby. Here's Greenwood. Into Lauren Hemp. And look at Casper I go. Hemp saw her go. Casper I into Shaw. That is a brilliant goal. The craft of Lauren Hemp. The graft of Kirsten Kasperai. And then the deadly touch of you-know-who, Bunny Shaw. It's Manchester City 1, Brighton 0, right at the end of the first half. Look at Kasperai go here, and the weight of pass was perfect, both from her and indeed to her from Hemp in the first place. Just needed a delicate touch, and Shaw provided. Told you it was never going to be 0-0. Not done a great deal wrong, Brighton. Defended pretty solidly. Got to make the most of your chances, and they just had one, hadn't they? The best chances of this half coming right at the end of it, and Buddy Shaw tucked one away, having missed one moments before. In between, Fran Kirby had a great chance to follow up a debut goal from the penalty spot last weekend. But as it is, the most familiar scorer amongst a whole array. He's the top scorer in France as well, once upon a time. Viviane Miedemar gets this second half going with no substitutions from either coach. It's a pretty even game. Yes, City had more of the ball and not had a glimpse of goal yet. Last weekend's hat-trick hero. Kasparai, what an assist for the game's only goal. He's going to have to try and win it back though there, having given it away. That's okay, Alex Greenwood is there. And here's Hemp, who also played a part in that goal, inevitably. Kasparai, away from Kirby, Miedemar, Hasegawa. Good ball for Aoba Fujino here. Drilled it. I presume she was going for the shot from that angle, or just a percentage smash from a tight angle like that. See what happens. Kasparai, no one's at the far post. Tight call. Losada under extreme pressure. It's going to fall here for Lauren Hemp, and that's a long way off for anyone, never mind a player of her. You knew Brighton were in trouble. Determined to play their way out pretty much every time, but Miedemar and co know that. Even if that pass had gone back to Gooderberg, substitutes are informed. Here they go again. Miedemar leading that press on Losada, who is cool on the ball and needs to be, especially with Miedemar around. And Miedemar's got it now, and Shaw's got it. That's a super block. Really good defending. He's just expecting ball in net here. It was Berg's fan, and behind her, I suspect Kadabali would have got the block in as well if needed. No messing about from Dario Vidicic here.
Substitution for
Brighton. The young Arsenal loanee. No joy for Kiko Seike today. This is a risky game they play. And they get caught out this time. Hemp. Slagers didn't clear it very far. Fujino. Laia Alexandri into Viviane Miedemar, and now Lauren Hemp. Got Torres Dottir one-on-one. It's turned into a decent cross, that for Fujino, and Bunny Shaw mistimed it completely. Now, what part of what did that come off to go back where it went then? Might have been a standing foot, you know. Greenwood takes. Whipped in. Just needed a touch from anyone, attacker or defender, and Bagley would have been in trouble. Through the crowd it came. Kirby. Half expected Kasparai to bring her down there, but she backed her own recovery pace. Paris. Couldn't keep it. Fujino gifted it by Kadabali. That's brilliant from Hemp. Torres Dottir couldn't even catch it, a fouler. Miedemar. Shaw. And Miedemar and Kadabali with another good block. They've had to get them in today, otherwise Bagley might have been busier than she has been. Half an hour to play, and still, it's the narrowest kind of lead. Having made that treble change, fresher leg, having come from Sydney in the summer. American player, scored once. Brighton got 7 against Bristol City. And here she is again. Paris, sprightly enough. Nearly fell for Kirby, and Aguimang was next to her. And Laia Alexandri on the cover because Greenwood had got pulled out of position there, chasing the run of Nikita Paris. That's all it takes for all the City dominance. It's just getting stretched. And speaking of, it's another diving challenge from Yorelin Karabali. Tough little hook shot, wrap her leg around that. Making none at all since the restart. She's picked out Kasparai there. That's a lovely way to pass for Lauren Hemp. And he knew she was going that way. I think even Torresdottir did. Awkward header for Bunny Shaw, and it's off target.
Substitution for City leaving the pitch, number 21,
the goal scorer departs, hoping that she's the match winner. As it stands, she is.
Number 8,
Mary Fowler replacing her. Let's see. Apparently not. Haley. That's very nicely worked by Vicky Losada. It looks like Ollie Slagers is now playing the Pattinson role of left wing back, and Maisie Simons into midfield. A more usual position. There she was, into Bergsvand, he's had a pocket picked by Hemp. Fowler trying to find the room to shoot. Oh dear, got right under it. They are not there yet, Manchester City. You squeeze like that enough times, you will win it, and you'll win it high. Leaning back. Now this will be a popular call, not that Miedemar is going.
and please welcome back our number 10, Jill.
Listen to that, brilliant. Really bad knee injury, 9 million United in January of this year, and she hasn't played again. 8 minutes and stoppage time. Brighton find a way back in. Aguimang with a challenge, and it's a foul one on Hasegawa. For all the stars and all the firepower, Yui Hasegawa is absolutely integral to what Manchester City do. And of course she's just given the ball away. Doesn't happen very often, but so is Torresdottir to Hemp, who skips away. And she's got options to her left. Park, Rords there too. That's a big stop from Bagley, keeps the contest alive. Just cannot put it to bed, Manchester City. And they're not good from that either. Couple of goals in Europe and one against Arsenal last weekend, Jess Park. Bagley got out right up there and in her face. That's an excellent spread by the Brighton keeper. Just look how much goal she can actually see at the point of contact there, Jess Park. It really isn't much at all. Not a great angle. Slung in there towards Torres-Dottir. A little bit of chaos factor in the box. That could have dropped anywhere else, as well as where it actually... Karaballi was there, ready to poke it in. Aguiman too. Nikita Paris. That is lap of the god stuff. Just got back and grazed a shin or a knee on it or something. Hemp, after Park, did so well. Lauren Hemp, is this the moment? No, and still. Simons wanted a free kick for the challenge. Looked like a fair enough one to me. And she's had a couple of them, Lauren Hemp. They did get to double figures for WSL goals last term, on top of all of those many assists. It's her goal that had them 1-0 up against Arsenal for so long on that dreaded day. Jill Roord, Hemp again. Not quite enough weight on the pass for her to take on Torres-Dottir that time. Roord. One or two shouts of shoot. We got 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Here's Ficino. Oohs and ahs, but Bagley had that covered even if it had been on target. But Fujino scored 20 goals in... Only 20 now. Such fine margins when Brighton play out like that. I watched the club's men doing the same thing at Stamford Bridge yesterday, and they were undone multiple times, but they've done it rather better here. Craig Kirby just limping a moment ago. Keep an eye on that for, well, probably 5 minutes or so, you'd think, left here. All in. Fujino rolling it forward for Fowler. That hasn't gone out of play. Karaballi, who's defended so well, let it go. Proper defender's defender, Yoralyn Karaballi. This performance here has been absolutely typical of the one she tends to turn in, actually. Almost old-fashioned in that regard. Hasegawa clipping it in, clipping it off target. They're still not. Outfielder that Gareth Taylor didn't drop once last term from the starting 11. 6 added minutes for City to either make sure or see out, or for Brighton to do the unthinkable as Hemp crosses it. Bergsfand in the way again. The toughest away grounds you can go to. They have defended really well, and not always last ditch either. It's not as if they've been sliced apart time and time again by City. They are still in it, and we've got 5 added minutes to go. Jill Roord, Jess Park, she and Fujino and Fowler have all had chances, and Lauren Hemp to make it safe. Kasparai for Lauren Hemp. Good ball, and a header on target from Jill Roord. Was trying but couldn't get out the way in time. Looked like it was heading for Nikita Paris. Hemp seen so much of the ball in this second half. And just trying to keep hold of it now and eat up some clock. Hasegawa. Smartly done. Roord trying to set Hemp on her way towards the corner flag again, and Hasegawa likewise. That's really clever. Solid hit. Bergsfand on Hemp, but didn't she stand up to that well? Roord and Hemp Fowler aren't going to let them have it. There's your 96. Brighton throw, if there's time. Oh no, free kick, is it? For the offside, yeah. City fans baying for the whistle. It's not been as comfortable as they would have hoped. Good header from Greenwood. Hemp into Fowler. Job done. Home win for Manchester City. One goal enough, as it turned out. Bunny Shaw got it. Brighton were good enough that Taylor's won just before half-time. It was a hard-working game in which Hasegawa starred rather than the usual open fare you might expect at the Joy Stadium, but it is joy for the majority inside it, because Manchester City have a win to go with their opening day point against Arsenal.
I think especially in the first half, I feel as though Manchester City in the second half got that control back and probably are a little bit disappointed with the chances they potentially missed. But look, I think we're at the beginning of the season. They'll be getting into the rhythm, and you see the likes of Jill Road coming on the pitch, and you can see, I think there's improvements to be made, and they've got a lot of the squad that haven't got as many minutes as possible. So,
well, Yui, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us both. Yui, you are our Barclays player of the match, but I know you're still working on your English, so Lauren is here to lend a helping hand. First of all then, Lauren, how tough was that victory out there today?
Yeah, it was really tough. I thought Brighton were fantastic. We knew it weren't going to be an easy game. I thought we dealt with it really well. Defensively, I thought we were really solid, kept that clean sheet, which is what we wanted, and worked hard going forward as well. I thought we had a lot of chances that maybe on a different day we could have converted, but no, I'm really proud of the squad today.
Talk to me about how good this player is, stood next to you right now.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic. Week in, week out, she puts top performances in, and you know, I feel like sometimes it goes unnoticed, but yeah, I think the whole of your team really appreciate it, all the hard work. Yeah, she's a fantastic player.
Yui, you're smiling, so I think you understand that Lauren's saying you're basically very, very good. It was only the second game of the league so far today, but just how much has this City team clicked so far this season?
Yeah, they've clicked really well. I think connections are still forming. I think you've got players who can come on and make a difference, and yeah, I think we've got a great squad at the moment, and yeah, we want to push on from here. We've got some exciting games coming up, but yeah, it was important for us today to get the win, and that's what we've done.
Well, there's only one thing left to do, and that is for you to present Yuri with her Barclays Player of the Match award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Thank you.